There's a reason why many people are saying that Udio is the best AI music generator out there. And in this video, we're just going to go through Udio to see how it works and what are the type of tracks it can actually create. Now, Udio is completely free to start using, so I would recommend for anyone that's still on the fence, just get an account to get started. First thing I see is some of my previous creations, but I'm just going to listen to some of the stuff picks and see what type of music is coming out.
Warms the dark, and your touch shows me the way. Though our paths may differ, in your light I choose to stay. You're the sun in my morning and the calm in my night, balancing my shadows with your steady. Where our hearts are truly free, oh, together in this.
So what I just noticed as I got right to the end of the outro is that the song actually faded out, sort of like how you would imagine a real song fade out at the end of a track. So that's just something I noticed. I thought it was interesting. So this song actually has 2,826 plays, 132 likes, and it was made about 2 weeks ago. It's quite interesting to think a track like this, which sounds like a real song basically, can only get 2,826 plays. Almost like the amount of music that we can just keep making is infinite, to the point where it's difficult for songs to actually get a lot of traction because it's just like pumping out so much music. But let's just take a look at the prompt. So the prompt says romantic, Memphis soul, Motown soul, energetic. So it definitely had like a Motown sound. It was definitely soul. And then here we can see the tags, which it says Memphis soul, smooth bass, lush string, subtle brass. Judging by these prompts, I can say that this track really did create what was based on this prompt. The thing about Udio is the tracks are definitely consistent with the prompts, and we can actually even click on these tabs and we can see the tracks coming out. And this is just an example of what I mean when I was saying that it's almost difficult for like individual song to catch traction. Like we just see 11 plays, 7 plays, 6 plays. Maybe these tracks are new, but I think it's just the point I'm trying to make, where it's just like you can just keep making tracks pretty much infinitely. I would say based on what I saw, this In Your Light song definitely fits the prompt. The lyrics are pretty cohesive, the song is good, and it just shows this type of music is just accessible and easy to make. But let's just try some more tracks and see where Udio is at. Let me just take a listen to something from this week. This is another track. It says Hug Label, so it seems like some people are actually trying to start a record label right now by branding their actual content. Anyway, this one, it says prompt tenor male vocalist, catchy E minor. So they even have the actual key of the song. And let's just take a listen to this one.
You're a good man that I know, but you can't seem to let me go. You can't get enough of me whenever we're alone. You're a good man, a good man. You've almost got me feeling bad for clawing at your throat. I try to be a better man. I swear to God I did. You get me going every time. Now this is what you get. Good man and I long for this bad world. That's why I'll be back for you. Get you from the back for you. Good man.
think the first thing that just pops out to me is like these sort of vocals that are put in the brackets. It's such an interesting concept to think that we can actually make these backing vocals that go along with the main song and the main melody. So that's super crazy to think how far we've gotten. And again, I think we're at the point now where it's pretty much impossible to differentiate this from what would have been released if this was 2 years ago and you played this song. So that just shows you how believable these tracks are. I think what I can say is these tracks are just so cohesive. So if we just look at the interface of Udio, I mean, it's pretty easy to use, pretty simplistic. You can just get started by typing in the prompt here and creating a track, or you can click here and get started by creating a new track as well. If you go into the library, you'll be able to see all the tracks that you generated yourself. So these are all of my previous creations. And then if you click following, you'll be able to see the feed of basically all the people that you follow and the tracks that they've made. So I follow this creator called Bobby B, and he's made some of the biggest tracks on the platform. And then all of the tracks that he's made are here. And the fact that he has this many tracks just further illustrates the point of what I was saying, where you could just infinitely just create music with this AI music now. There's sort of like no limit to the amount of songs that you can create in a day. You know, you can make 10 albums in a day, basically. Let's just hear one final track. So this one is called Tears. They said lo-fi, and the prompt is lo-fi chill hop, Japanese chill, lo-fi hip hop, and the tags are lo-fi chill hop, Japanese chill, lo-fi. Now, before I click play, if you think back to a few years ago, lo-fi hip hop was all over the internet. It was all over YouTube. There was even the lo-fi girl, which was so popular. And I always had a feeling that we would get to that stage where this type of music would easily be able to be replicated. And now we're at that point, and let's just hear what this lo-fi track sounds like. Wow, that was actually pretty good. Again, this obviously shows that Udio works with multiple languages. This is something that was already a feature before, but this track obviously just proves that this was in Japanese, but I know there can be tracks in Portuguese or in Spanish, so it works with multiple languages. And to me, that sounded like a video game soundtrack. Like that could actually be a soundtrack that you could have at the back of a video game. It had violin, it had strings, and it had a guitar, so it has all the things that we see in the actual prompt, you know, the guitar, the chill step, calming, chilling. And it just proves that Udio has the ability to say that they are, if not the best, at least one of the best AI music generation platforms, just based off of the fact that it's able to create such compelling music. I think this composition was a lot better than some of the other ones that we listened to because it had a more of a unique sound, whereas I felt like some of the other tracks were more generic. I'm just going to like this one, and then when I like it, it will appear in my library so I can go back to this. I'll actually probably remix this track in the next video. I really recommend that if you haven't tried Udio, that you should at least get started and give it a try. It's really easy to use. It has a really clean user interface. It can be just something to do for fun, or it can be something more serious, like if you're working on a new project and you need some music. They have many different categories. You can listen to jazz, you can listen to different genres, whichever genre you prefer, whether it's folk, rock, electronic, and just take a listen, you know, just hear what are people listening to, what are people making. I'd love for you guys to share your thoughts and your opinion on this latest version of Udio. Udio will continue to keep getting better. Right now, it's pretty much difficult to differentiate Udio from something you would have seen on YouTube. So definitely give Udio a try. I'll leave a link in the description where you can go on the website, get started for free, and then leave a comment based on what you think of this video, what you think of the music, and your opinion on this. Again, I'm going to move to the next video where I'm going to actually create a new track and extend the track and remix the track, so you can watch that in the next video.